Hi and welcome back to the Grammar Studio for part 9. We're almost there, we're so close. So before we carry on, a quick quiz. Are these states or actions? When I say state, I mean internal, something that is only internal. To be married is a state. You can't act it out. To live somewhere, it's an action. You sleep, you eat, you cook, you have fun. These are all actions. Are these states or actions, activities? To have a phone. To have a phone is possession. You can't act out possession. It's something abstract. So it's a state. To have a cup of tea, you can actually show me, go through the actions of having a cup of tea. So it's an action. Are these states or actions? So some people talk about state verbs and action verbs. Well, it really depends on the context. So here we have the same verb. One is a state and one is an action. To think. That's the action. You can see me actually processing in my brain. But one of them, you can't see it. It's just an internal thought that you have. It's like to possess a thought. So an opinion, to have an opinion is just a state. But to go, don't interrupt. I'm thinking. That's an action. Okay, I hope that's helped because that's really important for this next section to know the difference between a state and an action. So we make how long questions and sentences for states with present perfect simple. So that's what we looked at in the last part. But what about this one? How long you here? We got married. So what do you think the question is? How long have you lived here? And the answer is for or since. Well, it's a specific time in the past. So since we got married. Do they still live there? Yes. So it's an ongoing activity. Is it a short-term activity or a long-term activity? It's a long-term activity. Will they still live there tomorrow? Probably, but we're not talking about tomorrow. We're really only talking about until now. We're not talking about tomorrow. So we've used present perfect simple. What about this? How long she at this company? How long has she worked at this company? 25 years. So this is a period of time. Is it for or since? It's for 25 years. In this situation, is to work a short-term activity or a long-term activity? It's a long-term activity, 25 years. Wow. Does she still work at the company? Yes. Will she be working there tomorrow? Probably, but we're not interested in tomorrow. We're only talking about until now. So far. So remember with for, you can say so far, meaning who knows about tomorrow? Tomorrow may be different. Okay, and then now what does Bart Simpson say?
I've always done it.
Did you hear that? I've always done it. So how long has he done it? Always, all his life. So does always indicate a short-term activity or a long-term activity? Obviously, a long-term activity.
I've always done it.
Okay, listen to David Attenborough, Sir David Attenborough talking about a polar bear.
Their mother has not eaten for 5 months and has lost half her body weight.
I hope she eats soon. Did you hear it? Their mother has not eaten for 5 months and has lost half her body weight. Normally we would contract has not to hasn't, but Sir David Attenborough is talking very gently, nice and slowly, so we all understand. Is 5 months a long time? Is it a long-term period of non-activity? It is if you're not eating. I can't go 5 hours without eating something sometimes. Will she eat tomorrow? Probably, but we're not interested in tomorrow. And remember, with so far, you can use so far with a period of time. Their mother has not eaten for 5 months so far. So negative expressions with how long to do with long-term activities, they can be a little bit tricky. So I've done a separate video called Tricky Problems, Negative Quantifiers. I think that's number 4 in the series of tricky problems. So negative quantifiers are phrases like not a lot, not long, not much, not often, not enough, and these can cause confusion. So whether something is a long-term activity or a short-term activity is relative to the activity or the person. And we make how long questions and sentences for long-term activities when we're talking about so far with present perfect simple. So I hope this has been useful. Don't stop there. We've got another one to do with short-term activities. So this is just long-term activities, but if that's been useful, please click and subscribe.